Let's go sixes.
Lesson 51. Graphs of linear equations. Example A, y equals 1/2 x plus 2. To graph a linear equation, at least you need 2 points. We're going to put our x and y table, and we're going to give different value for x and calculate for y. When you have x attached to a fraction, the best 2 points you can choose is the same as the denominator, one time positive, one time negative. So my first point is going to be -2, and my second point 2, and always good to pick the 0 as one of your values. So since you have the 1/2, we're going to pick the 2, one time negative, one time positive. If I have here 1/3, I would pick -3 and 3. Why? When I substitute x by its value here, I can cancel and I have the value of y. So I'm going to substitute for x equals -2 in this equation. Y equals 1/2. X is -2, so I'm going to put -2 right here, plus 2. The 2 and the 2 is gone. So here I have -1 plus 2. That would be 1. So here's my 1. So at the point x equals -2, my y is going to equals 2, 1. Let's substitute now x equal to 0 in the same equation. Y equals 1/2. My x value is 0, so that means this whole term is gone. Any number times 0 is a 0, plus 2. So here's my 2. Repeat the same work third time for y equals to 2. X equals 2. X equals 2. So I have y equals 1/2. 2 is, your x is 2, so we're going to substitute here for a 2 plus 2. 2 and 2 is gone. So that would be 1 plus 2, and that's 3. So here I have 3 points, enough for me to construct my line. You put your x, y axis, some tick marks. Going to the right is positive, going up positive, the opposite sign negative and negative. When x is -2, here's my -2, my y was 1. So I plot the first point right here. 0, 2, that means this 2 is on the y-axis. So here's my second point. The last point, x is 2 and y is 3. Then I connect these points and I can say that this is my y equals 1/2 x plus 2. B, y equals x minus 2. This one is easier because I don't have a fraction here. So I just put some values x, y. I'm going to choose -1, 0, 1. These are the classic points to construct or to graph a linear equation. When x equals -1, my y will be -1, -2, and the answer here is -3. When my y equals, my x equal to 0, my y equals to 0 minus 2, that means y equals -2. Here's -2. When x equals to 1, my y will be 1 minus 2, and y will be -1. Here's my -1. So I have now the 3 points, x and y axis. Here's x, here's y. For x is -1, y is -3. 1, 2, 3, my first point is right here. 0, -2, here's my second point. Always the one with the 0 is going to be on the y-axis, because all the zeros, all the x's on the y-axis is 0. That's why this point here, 0, 2, it was on the y-axis. 0, -2 is going to be on the y-axis. Then 1, -1, it's right here. Your x is 1, your y is -1. You connect them and you extend your line. And I can call this y equals x minus 2. Y equals -x plus 1. We start also by putting the table x and y. Let's try to do this mentally without putting work on the board. So the first point is -1, 0, 1. You always choose these points if x has no fraction in front of it. If it has a fraction, like the first example, you're going to substitute it by whatever the denominator is, 1 time negative, 1 time positive, and the 0 is always a must. When x is -1, your y will be -1 plus 1. Negative times negative is +1, plus 1, y is 2. When x is a 0, that means this term is gone. Y will be, when x is gone, y is +1. The last one, when x equals to 1, y equals -1, because your x is 1, plus 1, now it is a 0. -1, +1 is a 0. -1 for the first point, and y is a 2. So here we go. 0, 1. Always I said this point is going to be on the y-axis. The last one, 1, 0. So x is 1, y is 0. So here's your point, the last one. You connect them. And y here is -x plus 1. The last two examples are the easiest. If I have x equal to 3, I say graph this line. Here's your x, y axis. X equals 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't have any y's here. So the line is going to be a vertical line. All the point on this line, their axis is 3. So this is x equal to 3. If I have y equals to 4, and I say graph this line, same thing, you're going to put x, y axis. Here's your y. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be a horizontal line, because it does not have any intersection with x. So this line here is going to be y equals to 4. So every time you see x equal to 3, it's going to be a vertical line. If you see y equals to 4, it's going to be a horizontal line, because they don't have intersect. Like the x here does not intersect with y, and the y here does not intersect with x. That's all for lesson 51.